Good day, trainers, and welcome back to the world of Pokemon. My name is ProfNoki, and you're here once again for another edition of Fixing the Pokedex. Today, we'll be taking a look at one of my all-time favorite Ghost-type Pokemon, Duskull, and its evolutionary line, including Dusclops and Dusknoir. Much like with each of the other videos in this series, I'll be taking a look at all the information that we currently know about this Pokemon, as well as what the official Pokedex entries for it states, and if there's anything that we can change to help trainers understand this Pokemon better. Duskull, the Requiem Pokemon, a pure ghost type, which carries the ability Levitate, rendering it immune to ground-type moves, except for Thousand Arrows. It also is unaffected by the effects of Arena Trap, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Sticky Web, Rototiller, and Terrain. It can also have the hidden ability Frisk, which allows Duskull and its trainer to see what item the enemy Pokemon is holding upon entering battle. Duskull has a gender ratio of 50-50, a catch rate of 190, which is 35.2%. And it belongs to the amorphous A group, having a hatch time of between 6,425 and 6,681 steps. This Pokemon's height is 2 foot 7 inches and weighs 33.1 pounds, with a base friendship of only 35. In its biology, Duskull's overall design is primarily themed as a personification of the Grim Reaper. Its body represents the long black robes, the crossbones on its back, the familiar symbol of death, and its skull face or possible mask, all highly used in Reaper tropes. Its haunting floating red eye is one of my favorite attributes, terrifying as it floats between sockets. Capable of turning invisible and even phasing through walls, this Pokemon is primarily nocturnal and prefers to live in thick forests or abandoned buildings. So, what does the Pokédex say for Duskull? Well, in its original entry back in Generation 3, the games in which it debuted, the deck said, Duskull wanders lost among the deep darkness of midnight, where it is said to take its victims, lost and misbehaving children. A glare from its single scarlet eye makes even burly grown-ups freeze in utter fear. Making itself invisible, it silently sneaks up to prey. It has the ability to slip through thick walls. As time went on and more was learned from this twisted Pokemon, new entries were written. It doggedly pursues its prey wherever it goes. However, the chase is abandoned at sunrise. It loves the crying of children. It startles bad kids by passing through walls and making them cry. And now for the second stage evolution, Dusclops, the Beacon Pokemon, which also is a pure ghost type. Though this Pokemon carries the Pressure ability. When another Pokemon uses a move targeting Dusclops, one more PP than usual is deducted from that move. If multiple targets have pressure, each one results in additional PP being deducted. It can also have the hidden ability Frisk, much like its pre-evolution Duskull. Now, as for the stats of this Pokemon, it also carries a gender ratio of 50-50, although now a catch rate of 90, which is 20.1%. It of course still belongs to the amorphous A group and has a hatch time still of 6,425 to 6,681 steps. This Pokemon has grown now to 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighs 67.5 pounds and still carries that base friendship of 35. Now, the biology of this Pokemon has changed drastically. Its body is hollow and can absorb anything, much like a black hole. It has a single red eye still, though 3 tooth-like projections below it. It has 2 wispy light gray growths coming out of its shoulders and 1 on top of its head. Its light gray hands appear to be directly attached to its body, and it will wave these hands to hypnotize opponents and then force them to do its will. Well, again in its original entry, the deck says, Dusclops' body is completely hollow. There is nothing inside at all, aside from a spectral ball of fire burning inside, though this is only a theory. It is said that its body is like a black hole. This Pokemon will absorb anything into its body, but nothing will ever come back out. With each new generation and researchers hard at work understanding this Pokemon, many new entries were written. It is said that those who look into its body are sucked into the void. It seeks drifting will-o-wisps and sucks them into its empty body. What happens inside is a mystery. Dusclops hypnotizes its foe by waving its hands in a macabre manner and by bringing its single eye to bear. The foe is made to do its bidding. In its final stage of evolution, we have Dusknoir, the Gripper Pokemon. Again, a pure ghost type with the pressure ability and the hidden ability Frisk. Much like its pre-evolutions, it carries a gender ratio of 50-50, though now a catch rate of 45 or 11.9%. Of course, it still belongs to the same egg group, taking the same amount of steps to hatch, and now this Pokemon has grown to 7 feet 3 inches, weighing a whopping 235 pounds, though still carrying that 35 base friendship. Now, as for its biology, it seemingly looks a lot more similar to its first stage evolution, Duskull, by being primarily all black with only a few yellow accents. It has a cylindrical head with still only one eye that has a yellow iris and a red pupil. Flat projections extend from its neck that resemble a collar, and on the front of its torso are two almond-shaped markings that are mirrored on its back that are circular, both resembling eyes. A yellow band encircles its body that can open much like a mouth that is used to take spirits into its body. And one last time, what does the Pokedex say? Well, again, in its original entry from its introduction in Generation 4, the dex states, the antenna on its head captures radio waves from the world of spirits that command it to take people into this unknown world. This feared Pokemon is said to take lost spirits along with it inside its pliant body. Though, in Generation Since, more information has emerged, like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, where the dex says, at the bidding of transmissions from the spirit world, it steals Pokemon and people away. No one knows whether it has a will of its own. With the mouth on its belly, Dusknoir swallows its target whole. The soul is the only thing eaten. Dusknoir disgorges the body before departing. So what exactly is wrong with these Pokédex entries? Well, in my opinion, absolutely nothing. They are fantastically morbid and downright terrifying, and I believe they fully give any trainer a real glimpse at exactly why this Pokemon is so spectacularly horrific. And maybe, if anything at all, this Pokemon should come with a warning that for any trainer who even considers capturing it, they are in for one decrepit Pokemon. Only those with a purely sinister heart and the absence of a soul would even consider including one of these Pokemon on their team. Well, moving on. Now, the whole reason why I created this series to begin with is that I had seen time and time again of all of the Pokédex entries that were downright obnoxious and ridiculous, seemingly written from the observations of mere children. So why does it seem that the Pokédex entries for Duskull, Dusclops, and Dusknoir are so horrifyingly accurate? Well, in my speculation at least, this would indeed back this theory up even further, as no children at all would dare get anywhere near one of these Pokemon, especially with many of the tales they're told directly from their parents. Therefore, most of the information that we do get from the Dex entries are just a collection of stories that are passed on from adults to their children, mixed in with factual information that's been gathered from observations by researchers in the field as well as adults who have dared to get too close to this Pokemon. I thoroughly hope you enjoyed this look at one of my favorite Ghost-type Pokemon, Duskull, and its evolutionary line. This truly is an incredible Pokemon that has so much mystery and intrigue. And I can't wait until next time to figure out which Pokemon I'm going to be breaking down next. So let me know in the comments down below what Pokemon you would like to see me take a look at in fixing the Pokédex. If you enjoyed this video and would like to check out more of my daily content, make sure you hit the subscription button down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, this has been Professor Noki, signing out once again for ProfNoki.